direction into which we can put the family business.
He absolutely adores the masthead as it currently is. He thinks it's just kind of, you know, reached a kind of pitch of perfection, and I think it looks really vulgar. It's like a Boots magazine.
Undeterred, Rachel is pushing on. She's put a ban on still life cover shots of floral arrangements, and in their place come real women as cover girls.
What I want to do is to habituate the eye to the existence of a middle-aged woman. We pretend they don't exist. I'm going to put women over 40 on the cover every week. Anybody else have any thoughts for cover girls that we'd like to see? I'll tell you who I was thinking of. Kirsty Young? Kirsty Allsop? What about Judy Finnegan?
Oh, no, no, absolutely not.
Well, very popular lady. Follow me. This is Judy.
Ben is impressed with the prospect of putting celebrity Joan Collins on the cover.
Hello. Hello. Tammy, this is Joan Collins, who we're hoping will be doing something. What do you think of the cover?
It's all right. Very ladylike.
Oh, hello.
Sheena.
That's very nice, thank you. Ben, do you want to... Oh my gosh!
Now Rachel has dragged the cover shots into the 21st century. She's determined to lose the random articles about cucumbers and other such favourite things. In their place, she introduces a column written by men, a radical change for the lady. And she is leading from the front in getting more exciting, racier copy.
So you don't measure me, but you just assess me visually?
Visually, yes.
And you are a royal appointment, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
So can I ask you a question you don't have to answer, but do you assess Her Majesty in the same way as you're assessing me?
Well, we treat all of our customers in the same way.
It's a very good answer. Hello, boys.
Blimey. So just like the lady, you're undergoing a change.
I'm undergoing transformation and revitalisation. We are supporting our assets.
But Rachel's enthusiasm for her changes are not echoed by all of the lady's devoted readers.
But I certainly noticed all of a sudden a great change. We don't need too many more of her friends doing articles, but writing about what they've done during the week and so forth, and it doesn't really interest me.
I miss the lady that I knew, not the present-day lady.
I remind you what the lady looked like only earlier this year. That is a 2009 issue of the lady. Check out our cover girl.
That cover girl was selected by Arlene Usden, the former editor of 18 Years. Arlene may no longer be in the building, but she remains editor at large, as well as opera critic, beauty writer and travel correspondent. She has been let go to make way for Rachel, and yet she continues to be contracted to the lady.
Well, I've never met her. I've never spoken to her. And I realised that Ben wanted somebody famous, or not famous, connected to fame, like her brother Boris, in order to get publicity.
Rachel may never have met the former editor, but Arlene has a continued presence in the building.
And your daughter Yanina works there as well?
Yes. She is a brilliant journalist. She got her first from Edinburgh, in English, and I'm very proud of her. She can do anything. In fact, until Ben, took over, she was doing fiction, writing, the diary, subbing, everything you could think of.
On the 10th of December,
Yeah.
the Endeavour is going from the Kennedy Space Centre, and it's got a British-born astronaut on it. No, wait, don't despair, don't despair.
Yanina's interests are quite off left field, I think, for the tenor and the content of the magazine. She wanted to have a piece about alien abductions, and she's very interested in mental illness, which I am too, but it's just, the lady has to be about all things lovely.
Rachel made one sacking in her first few days, but she soon discovered that legally, long-standing members of staff are harder to remove. Lindsay was on Rachel's so-called death list from the beginning. But like Janina and her mother Arlene, she has been at the Lady for 18 years.
What happens on a newspaper, if someone's face doesn't fit or they're no longer required on voyage, their contract isn't renewed. What we've had at the Lady is everyone's had a job for life. It's like, oh, I'm in my 60s, I'm not really doing my job very well, but, you know, I'm bloody well staying. So I'm saying to Ben, just get rid of the people you don't like. Why haven't you? They've been here for 20 years, whatever. And Ben says, oh, Rachel, you have no idea. You know, he thinks he's going to be sued Kingdom Come.
So instead, Rachel strips features editor Janina of some of her duties and moves her into an office out of the way and at the back of the building with Lindsay.
We're isolated. We are in the gulag.
To raise morale of the office, Ben is organising the Lady's first Christmas party in years.
I can smell burning. This is so cocked up.
But Rachel's discovered that some of the occasional writers from Arlene's reign have been invited.
Right, okay.
No, but basically I think Arlene's mounted a brilliant rearguard action.
I want
All her contributors coming to the Christmas lunch. The only thing that's missing is Arlene now.
Okay, Maureen, look, listen, take a breath, okay? Gird your loins and head downstairs.
With the list.
With the list, okay?
Yes.
Who is Maria Hardy?
She's written one piece on cruise liners.
And why was she on the list then?
Because it was suggested by Lindsay. Lindsay, can you just... It's Rachel. Can you come in, because we're trying to sort out this Christmas party shambles. Thank you. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello.
Could you explain who a number of these contributors are, please, and what they have done for the magazine?
And why would we want them at Christmas lunch? Ron Toft.
He's written for us for years. I misunderstood, Ben. You asked for, or somebody asked for suggestions for the party.
Yep.
It's a lunch. It's not a big party. That's the difference.
It's a lunch party. It'll do. Let's not split hairs there.
Well, I thought it was a party, and I thought it was some sort of thank you and goodbye to all those old people who've written
Thank you
for us.
and goodbye. Great.
Well, we
Well,
said
it might,
goodbye.
now there's an idea. That's creative. That's the best idea that I've heard.
Why don't we just close up shop afterwards?
Basically, nobody wants to hear about the past. It's as if we did nothing. But, you know, 30,000 readers. Well, it was 50 when we started and about 28 when we finished. Arlene and I can't be wrong. So we must have been doing something right.
I brought in favourite things which the readers love. In fact, they say, oh, we always turn to that first. That was one of the things I brought in.
Sometimes we had one-page features that weren't particularly linked to anything terribly much. Could be a book or the time of year, if it was cob nuts, the history of the cob nut, or the history of this, that, the next thing. You wouldn't get in any other place apart from Reader's Digest, maybe a long while ago.
Readers are quite conservative when they get to like something, and I think you should be very careful how you frighten the horses.
40 years she's been reading The Lady.
I think she's being a bit silly. If it ain't broke, why fix it?
We, and no doubt many others, will no longer be reading your magazine.
If it was to go back to how it was, I'd be quite happy.
I have therefore cancelled my regular new order.
It's just somehow not the same.
I would like to congratulate you on the new Lady.
I like the fact that they're not size 0 models. From when Rachel took over, that's when I started to read it. So, and I've enjoyed it. And it's like having a little jewellery box every week.
2 months into the new reign, and the mixed reaction from the readers sees circulation consistently below 30,000, and a long way from the 40,000 target Rachel needs to hit.
Ben, how's it all going?
Pretty appallingly. No, I mean, no one was going to say this is going to be easy, and it wouldn't be fair to say it's going to be a walk in the park.
Well, it is credit crunch year. It is the very worst year to ask anybody to do anything, really.
However, I think
Ben returns home to report to the magazine's major investor, Mother.
Yes.
It's not...
It's not so comfortable now Rachel's there, really.
It's... Really?
I don't think she makes it over comfortable. I think it was more comfortable when Arlene was there because it was so bland.
Yeah.
You see, I feel that Rachel is in so many ways trying too hard. She's getting... she's been told to go to the edge, and she's gone to the edge, and that may be a mistake. It's a tightrope to walk. I think she's taken on a very tricky job. Really, I mean, I think if I'd been doing her job, I wouldn't have done anything different, except maybe the covers. And still not wonderfully happy about the covers.
Does his mum have a say in...
Yes. She made me take out a paragraph in the piece we're running next week about cads and why women find them irresistible. And it mentioned a man being in a state of arousal, and she rang me up. She had marked the bit, you know, she'd been sent a proof of it, and I had to take out this reference. Because if she flags something up, I can be pretty sure that it will be what we used to call at the Sunday Times a marmalade dropper. You know, they said, I can't believe, you know, some man in a state of arousal. I'm reading about that.
3 months in, and Rachel's worried. She's winning a handful of new readers, but the old devotees are cancelling subscriptions. So she makes a strategic decision to placate the old guard. She's reinstating some of the quirkier articles, or as she calls them, cobnuts.
You know, we're getting the older readers wanting it to be more like the old days and everything. I was wondering whether, after we have the letters page, Vicky's, whether we want to put some cobnuts in the short story after the letters page, so we can have a sort of natural break in the magazine. And then they get a bit more of the old stuff, leading them to the lady ground.
Yeah.
Could you start doing that for this coming issue?
Absolutely fine.
My favourite things, the short story, cobnuts. Okay? How about that?
Lindsay is enjoying the return of some of the old-fashioned articles and has triumphed with a piece that actually is on the cobnut.
Is it actually about cobnuts? What is it? It's not.
It's going to be...
It is. Cobnuts are a very popular British dessert. I think he means dessert. During the 18th and 19th century. We've got to have it.
As a route back to the traditional readers, Lindsay has grabbed the chance to get back in the action.
You see, we were very anarchic in The Lady. We used to write about anything we fancied with reference to nothing at all. That was just, we wanted an article on red, orange, cobnuts, lotus blossoms.
But there is one voice from the past that Rachel doesn't want in The Lady any longer.
Oh, Christ, she's got to come off the masthead.
No, actually you can't.
No, Ben.
No.
You've said this every week for 3 months.
I don't want confrontation.
Grow a pair of balls.
We have to just make sure that the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. It is actually important because I just don't want to screw up.
Is it in her contract that she has to remain on the masthead?
No, it's not, but it's professional to make sure that the letter arrives before she's removed. See you tomorrow. Bye. I tell you what, if we ran this company in the way that Rach wants to run it, there is no harm whatsoever in doing it that way, save that it would cost us an arm and a leg in every employment tribunal up and down the country.
I thought I was editor, and yet there's, you know, Arlene's presence is everywhere. But I feel as if I'm prizing each finger off. You know, she's clinging to the ledge, and I'm prizing each finger off. There's opera, then I've prized off beauty, prized off travel, and now I've got to get off the masthead, and then it's done. I think you should get the grockles as well. The grockles.
After 3 months of radical change at The Lady, editor Rachel Johnson is a long way from her target of 40,000. Some of the existing readers have been cancelling their subscriptions, and so Rachel's travelled to Derbyshire with an idea she hopes will win them back. Chatsworth House belongs to one of the Mitford sisters, the Dowager Duchess of Devonshire, whose grandfather was the founder of The Lady.
Could we resist? These are for you. I'm afraid it looks like coals to Newcastle. Anyway, give those to somebody. I'll just dump my stuff here. I'm just going to turn